大家好，我叫江红头，结婚22年，两个儿子都不是我亲生的，大家都说我是罪过那么大的。22年的婚姻给我和家人带来了无尽的伤害。我与李艳芬2002年10月17号登记结婚，李艳芬2004年生了老大，2014年生了小儿，2023年5月9号，我和李艳芬登记离婚之后才知道这两个孩子都不是我亲生的。我一起诉，一审支持了我的主张，认定我和这两个孩子没有关系，但是他们又上诉，拒不承认二审维持一审判决。2025年8月20号马上快到了，我起诉李艳芬离婚后损害责任纠纷一案终于快开庭了。庭审结束，还有重大的案情公布。我虽然坐在原告席上，但这是对我的审判，因为我给我的父母丢脸了，我让我的父母抬不起头来。以前的我哪怕生活再苦再累，为了孩子，为了一个所谓幸福美满的家庭，我努力赚钱，是我最开心的事情。这些年伤害最深的还是我年迈的父母，我也想案子结束后努力生活，好好的给他们二老养老。我是一个窝囊和不孝顺的儿子，我做自己也很失败。这次开庭以后，我想好好的开始新的生活。我知道这一切听起来好像是另一个笑话。
什么？结婚22年，男子发现俩孩子全都不是自己亲生的。
What? After being married for a full 22 years, a man actually discovered that neither of his 2 children was his biological child. This couple, with 2 children, somehow ended up with 3 fathers in total. Can you believe such a bizarre plot? The incident happened in Shandong, where the protagonist, Mr. Jiang, registered his marriage with his ex-wife, Ms. Li, in 2002. In 2004, Ms. Li gave birth to their elder son. In 2014, she gave birth to their younger son. The arrival of these 2 children made Mr. Jiang feel both indescribable joy and a heavier burden on his shoulders. For the sake of this family, he had hardly rested at all during more than 2 decades of marriage, leaving early and returning late every day, just to earn more money and save up more assets for the children so they could have a better life in the future. However, by 2022, Mr. Jiang noticed that his wife's behavior had become somewhat unusual. She seemed to have fallen in love with someone else, choosing to live away from home for long periods of time and hardly ever returning. At first, Mr. Jiang thought that it was because he had been busy making money for too long, neglecting to care for and accompany his wife, which had led to the emotional distance between them. In order to save the marriage, he made many efforts, taking the initiative multiple times to communicate and try to mend the cracks in their relationship, but no matter what he did, it was all in vain. In the end, with no other choice, he had to agree to go through divorce procedures with Ms. Li. At the time of the divorce, thinking of the 2 children and also out of a father's sense of responsibility, he decided to leave all the family's property and savings to his ex-wife, Ms. Li, keeping only 1 car for himself. It was basically a case of walking away with nothing. If the story had ended here, people would probably have thought it was simply a failure of the couple to manage their relationship well, but without a doubt, Mr. Jiang's love for the 2 children was genuine and deep. However, what happened next was so unbelievable it seemed almost magical. After the divorce, Mr. Jiang started a new family, but unexpectedly, his elder son still came to him from time to time asking for money, and sometimes even shouting about wanting a share of his property. On one occasion, after failing to get what he wanted, the elder son suddenly lost his temper, completely disregarding family bonds, and physically attacked Mr. Jiang. At the moment his son struck him, that pair of extremely cold eyes, along with a face that bore almost no resemblance to his own, made the thought that had once crossed Mr. Jiang's mind, yet one he had never dared to confront, surface again. Is this son really my biological child? That suspicion, like a thorn, lodged in Mr. Jiang's heart and would not go away. After a long period of mental struggle, he finally summoned the courage to face reality. He quietly took some of the elder son's hair and sent it to a professional institution for a paternity test. A few days later, the results hit like a bolt from the blue. The elder son had no blood relationship with him at all, and the biological father turned out to be the former village secretary of the village where his ex-wife, Ms. Li, had lived. This left Mr. Jiang feeling as if he had fallen into an ice cave. But the matter did not end there. An even more terrifying thought began to trouble him. since the elder son was not his biological child, what about the younger son? In pain and torment, he decided to conduct another test. The results once again nearly broke him. The younger son also had no blood relationship with him, and even more outrageously, the biological father of the younger son turned out to be his own paternal cousin. Looking at the two cold, indisputable paternity reports laid out before him, Mr. Jiang was completely plunged into despair. He said that he had been married to his ex-wife for 22 years, working like a beast of burden to raise 2 children for more than 2 decades, and even at the time of divorce, for the sake of the children, he had willingly given up all the property and walked away with nothing, yet in the end, this was the result he got. Even more outrageous was that, after he learned the truth, his ex-wife, Ms. Li, fearing that he would sue for compensation, frantically began transferring marital property through improper means. At present, the case has already entered legal proceedings, and his ex-wife, Ms. Li, has been charged with marriage fraud and child support compensation fraud, and the relevant authorities may initiate a redistribution of the property. As for the latest developments in this matter, we will continue to follow up.
据网上不知名的调查，95%的人建议把亲子鉴定纳入新生儿体检项目。
It is truly outrageous. According to an anonymous online survey, as many as 95% of people believe that paternity testing should be included as a mandatory item in the newborn medical examination. In other words, if you want to register your child in the official family record, you must first do a paternity test. Many netizens believe that if this could really be implemented, it would solve 3 social problems at once. First, it would address the issue of hospitals accidentally giving the wrong baby to parents. Although such incidents have become extremely rare with improvements in management, that does not mean they can never happen. Once paternity testing is included, even in extremely rare cases, it can be detected and corrected in time. Second, it would tackle the problem of child trafficking. Under this proposal, any trafficked child who wants to be registered in the official family record would be required to provide paternity test results. Once the test shows the child is not biologically yours, not only would the registration be denied, but the suspects could also be quickly identified, and the human traffickers might be caught on the spot. Third, it would prevent situations where innocent people are deceived into mistakenly raising someone else's child. In reality, tragedies like this are not uncommon and happen from time to time. Not long ago, there was a news report about a mother who had 3 children, but each of the 3 children had a different father. Similar situations could very well happen again in the future, but once mandatory paternity testing is implemented, such cases might be greatly reduced and in many instances completely avoided. Such a policy design would not only help protect the authenticity of parent-child relationships, but also minimize social conflicts and family tragedies to the greatest extent. So, would you support such a proposal?
What do you feel after hearing about this real-life incident today? After working hard as a father for 22 years, it turns out that neither of the 2 children is his own. The elder son is the son of the village party secretary, and the younger son is the son of his own paternal cousin. This is not just betrayal. This is stabbing straight into the heart. Mr. Jiang from Zibo, Shandong, got married in 2002, worked diligently to earn money and support the family, welcomed his elder son in 2004, and his younger son in 2014. When getting divorced, he softened, leaving the house and savings entirely for the sons, and drove away in just an old broken car. And the result? After the divorce, the 2 children still came to him asking for money, even trying to get physical with him. Seeing the children looking less and less like himself, he finally went to do a paternity test. The result? Neither of the 2 children was his biological child. So, what do you think was going through the ex-wife's mind? If one child wasn't the husband's, that might still be something one could try to accept, but both children not only weren't his, they didn't even have the same father. How could her conscience possibly be at peace with that? Now here's the question. In this case, could Mr. Jiang accuse his ex-wife of committing the crime of bigamy? To be honest, this is indeed not easy to handle. Unless you can prove that the ex-wife got legally married to someone else during the marriage or lived together with someone else long-term as husband and wife, it won't work. But since the fathers of the 2 children are not the same person, it would be difficult for Mr. Jiang to prove that his ex-wife cohabited long-term with another man. Fortunately, There's a concept in law called fraudulent support, which means you were kept in the dark and ended up raising someone else's children. Based on this, Mr. Jiang can reclaim the child support payments from over 20 years, and he can also claim compensation for emotional distress. The key is evidence. Transfer records, tuition receipts, and living expense bills should all be listed, and he should calculate every possible amount and file a lawsuit directly. At the end of the day, this is not about the money. It's about the collapse of a man's trust for a lifetime. Money can be recovered, but the wound in his heart may never heal. What do you think about this? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. I really look forward to hearing from you. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.